right, guys, so we have upper body today. We're going to be on the floor for mostly everything. We are going to start with just a couple quick stretches to get us going, and then we'll get going with some activation exercises. So to start with, I just want to do just a simple cross-body arm stretch. So you're just going to cross that arm in front of your body and kind of pull up on with your left arm. So I'm pulling up on that arm. I should get a nice stretch from the back of the shoulder across the right arm. Nice breathing as we start here, kind of getting our breathing in line with our stretching. All right, let's switch sides. Shake out those shoulders if you need to, and go to the other arm. So cross the left arm over your body, and then I'm going to slightly pull up with my right arm. But make sure when you do it, you're not shrugging. So Malcolm, that left shoulder looks a little shruggy. There we go. Yep. Yep, that's better. All right, very good. We're going to do a lat stretch in a kneeling position, and then we're going to go ahead and start. So if you need a pad under your knee, go ahead and grab one. I'm going to use this towel. So we're going to be in a half kneeling position. The front leg is going to just come out to the left side a little bit more, and the back foot is going to rotate internally. So that causes an external rotation at our right hip. Okay? I'm going to tuck my tail under like we've done with our psoas stretches. I'm going to shift forward. My left hand is going to reach behind me towards my right foot. And then my right arm is going to reach forward. So it's important to keep that reaching of both arms, because that's where we're going to get all this stretch here in this lat. You can see my shoulder kind of moving. So I'm reaching with my right kind of forward and reaching with my left backwards. You'll also feel a slight rotation in your T-spine when we do this. Keep your right butt cheek kind of tight. And then try to get a couple nice deep breaths. When I breathe up, I can almost feel that stretch kind of coming up into my shoulder blade. And relax, and we'll switch sides. So I'm going to go left knee down, right leg forward. The right leg is going to come out just a little bit, and then my left foot is going to come in. You can kind of see it behind my legs there. I'm going to tuck my tail a little bit. I'm going to lean forward a little bit. My right hand is going to reach towards my left foot, and my left arm is going to reach forward. So we're going to be in this leaning forward type of position here. Reaching aggressively with both arms. Breathing deeply, keeping that left butt cheek squeezed. Reach down with the right arm. Reach up and away with the left arm. If you need to change your angle of that left arm to get that lat a little bit more stretched out, go ahead and do that. Very good. All right, you can slowly come out of that movement. We're going to go ahead and get started with some activation exercises. So our first one is going to be a swimmer. So the swimmer, we've done this before. We're going to be face down on your stomach. And the swimmer is really good for full shoulder range of motion. In this movement, we're going to start with the backs of our hands on the small of your back. So from this position here, our starting position, we're going to do this first one together, and then we'll do an additional 3. So I'm going to reach down towards my feet with my arms. The backs of my hands are still facing the floor. I'm going to start to rotate my arms into a T position. My hand rotates so that the palm is facing the floor. I continue to rotate up over my head. At this position, I'm going to touch the backs of my shoulders with my hands. So I'm going to reach up and touch the backs of my shoulders, and then I reach forward back into that extended I position, and then I'll start to come back down into my T position. Hands rotate so that the back of the hand is on the small of the back, and then I relax. So we're going to do that 3 more times together. So let's go ahead, pull those shoulder blades and those elbows back. Reach your hand to your feet. Rotate the hand as you come into T. Keep extending up overhead into I. Touch the back of your neck. Reach back into I. Extend out into T. You're reaching towards those feet. Rotate the hands. Back of the hand comes to the small of the back. We relax. We have 2 more. Pull those shoulder blades and those elbows back. Reach to the feet. Extend out into T. Up to I. Touch the back of your shoulders or your neck. Reach into I. Reach out into T as we depress those shoulders down, reaching towards your feet. Hands rotate. Backs of the hands comes to the small of the back, and you relax. We have 1 more. Squeeze the shoulder blades in the elbows. Reach to your feet. Reach out into T. Up into I. Touch the back of your shoulders. Extend into I. Reach wide into T. Depress down as you reach to your feet. Rotate the hand so the hand is on the small of the back, and relax. Very good. All right. We're going to move right into Turkish sit-ups. So you're going to need to grab a shoe. A shoe or a small weight, preferably a shoe, so we can practice balancing and stabilizing through the shoulder. So it's always important to start off with a shoe because we need to know where the weight is in space because it's above our head. So that's obviously important. We don't want to be dropping any weight on our head. So I'm going to make a fist, and the shoe is going to rest on my knuckles. So I've created like a flat little surface for the shoe to rest. So the Turkish sit-up is important for shoulder stabilization and core strength. So with the arm extended up to the ceiling, you're going to have that same knee bent. The opposite arm is extended away from you, kind of at a 45-degree angle towards your hip. I'm going to turn it so you guys can see me a little bit better. Okay, so when we start the sit-up, we need to rotate a little bit. We're going to rotate to our arm that's on the floor. So I'm going to push up the shoe to the ceiling as I push into that left elbow. And then I will push up into a seated position nice and tall. I slowly descend myself back down to the floor using that core strength to go nice and slow. We're going to do 3 more on each side. So remember, push the shoe to the ceiling, roll or rotate to that left elbow, push up into a seated position. The shoe should be directly overhead. Slowly descend yourself back down to the floor. We've got 2 to go. Keep that shoulder nice and stable. We've got 1 more on this side. Very good. When you're done with 4, switch sides. So make your little knuckle with your fist. Balance that shoe on your fist. Switch legs. The arm is going to assist you in an extended position on the floor. Left shoulder is nice and stable. We're going to push that shoe up to the ceiling as we roll to the right elbow. And then push up to the hand. Nice tall position. It does help to keep your eyes on the object. Slowly descend back down. The slower you go, the more you're utilizing those core muscles. Good, this is number 3. I've got one more on this left side. Very good. All right. Roll to your side and get up when you're done with your 4. We're going to use that shoe to do some leg raises. So I'm going to place the shoe in front of me on the right hand side of my right leg. So we are going to point our toes away from us in this movement, and I'm going to try to lean as far forward as possible with my torso, supporting myself with my hands on the floor. So I've got this kind of tripod with my fingers. We are going to raise up and over with our leg. So we're just kind of using that shoe as a little guide. We're going to do it 10 times. So lift up and over. You're going to feel this a lot in your quad and in your hip, but also in your core. When you're done with 10, we'll switch to the other side. So shoe is going to come to the left-hand side of your left foot, and we'll go ahead for 10 there. So remember, it's important to point those toes away from you. Malcolm, you can use your arms. I don't want you to lean back that much because your lower back starts to round. So use your arms on the floor. One more. Ooh, good. All right. We're going to go through one more round of those 3 exercises. So we're starting down on our stomachs in the swimmers. And we're doing 4 of these. Louisa, you keep yawning, girl. Did you get your coffee this morning? Okay. Remember, the back of the hand is going to be on the small of the back when we start. Try to keep your head down. I'm going to be looking up at the camera a little bit in the TV. All right. Pull those shoulder blades back. Reach to your feet. Extend out into T. Nice, easy movements with that shoulder. Reach to the back of your shoulder blades. Reach out into that I position. Extend into T. Reach to the feet, bend the elbows, place the back of the hand on the small of the back, and relax for a second. Let your shoulders and your elbows come to the floor. You're going to pull those shoulder blades back, pull the elbows back, reach to your feet, extend out into T, up into I, reach the back of your neck, extend back out into I, reach out into T, down to your feet, backs of the hands come to the small of the back. Make sure that you're not arching your lower back too much. I kind of caught myself in that one, and I did a little bit of a pelvic tilt just to kind of engage the front part of my stomach a little bit better to protect my back. All right, number 3, here we go. Reach those shoulders back, elbows back. Keep that tummy tight. Reach your hands to your feet. Extend out into T. Up into I, reach the backs of your shoulders, out into I, out into T, down to the feet, Hands come to the back and you relax. We have one more. Squeeze those shoulders and those elbows. Reach to your feet. Extend out into T, up into I. Reach the backs of your shoulders. Reach into I, T. Depress down to your feet and bend the arms and relax. Very good. Push yourself up. Grab your shoe. We're moving into your Turkish sit-up. I'm going to do right arm first. So the shoe will be balanced on my right fist, my right knuckles. Okay, remember right knee is bent, left arm is extended away from you. We're going to do 4 on each side. So push that shoe to the ceiling. Start to roll to that assisting arm on your left. Push up nice and tall. Try to keep your left foot, the extended leg, on the floor. Try not to raise the leg off of the floor. Good. That's number 2 for me. Number 3. And this is my number 4. So I'm going to switch sides. Balance that shoe. Switch your knees. Straighten out the right arm. And go ahead and begin. Reach the shoe to the ceiling. Push up into that seated position. Slowly descend down. I've got one more on this side. Very good. All right. When you're done with your 4th one, we'll do those leg raises. So I'm going to place the shoe on the right hand side of my right foot. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Lots of torso strength. Lifting up tall through those sit bones. Toes are pointed away from you. Arms are pushing into the floor. So my arms are under tension. We're going to raise that right leg up and over 10 times. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switch sides. The shoe is on the left-hand side of my left foot. Toes are pointed. Sit up tall and begin for 10 on the left leg. 2, push up. So make sure your shoulders aren't shrugging. Push away from the floor. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Oh man, that gets your quad. Okay, moving on. We are done with this shoe. So for our next 3 exercises, we're going to do them 3 sets through. The first movement is going to be a sitting position into a crab position. So my fingers are going to face my feet, but if this is too difficult on your shoulders, you can switch the rotation of your hand so that your fingers are either facing away from you or behind you. So feet are flat on the floor. I'm going to try to make sure my big toe is pushing into the floor. So from this nice tall seated position like this, I am going to push up into a crab position. If this is too hard for anybody's shoulders, you can use a couch to come into just a isolated hip extension or a hip hold, okay? Because the crab really gets the posterior side of the body, so if you need a modification, you can go into a bridge hold or a hip extension hold on your couch, chair, table, whatnot. So we're gonna do 10 of these together. Make sure your feet are separated, hip distance apart, and we'll go ahead for 10. So the only thing that you really need to be concerned about, most importantly, is that at this top position, your knees are over your ankles. 4 and 5, 6, 7, and 8, 9, and 10. Very good. For this next exercise, once you've finished, we're going to need 2 paper plates or 2 towels, depending on what surface you're going to be pulling on. We're doing a prone, so face down, lat pull down. I'm going to incorporate a push up with that. You don't have to. You can do a push up from your knees, but we need to generate our own resistance by pushing your hands into the floor and pulling at the same time so that we can really get that nice pull from the lat. So we're face down. Hands are going to be extended above your head. My head is going to remain down. I would push into the floor with my hands as I pull down. We need to just really focus on these muscles underneath the armpits and the lat. The lat comes from the arm all the way to the low back. So it's a very big muscle. We're going to do 10 of these, and again, I'm going to incorporate a push-up. All right, here we go. Push into the floor, pull down with those lats, and push up if you want to. I have 2 more. Very good. All right. When we're done with 10, we're going to roll onto our backs. So we're going to do dead bug. Dead bug is a very good exercise for your deep core muscles, your transverse abdominis. Also a little bit of coordination. So we're going to be in our starting position. So when I bring my knees up like this, I'm going to try not to bring my knees too far forward to my chest. I would try to have the knees right over the hips. However, we need to have the lower back on the floor in that position. So if you cannot maintain your lower back on the floor, then you may need to bring your knees closer to your chest. Arms will reach to the ceiling, and I generally keep my palms facing each other. I'm going to tuck my chin, lengthen through my neck, and then from this position, I need to maintain my intra-abdominal strength, right? So I need to maintain that support of my spine as I extend opposite limbs away from each other. So I would slowly extend left leg, right arm, and then I come back to center. Keep the one side still as the other side moves. We're doing 12 of these. This is number 3. I try to exhale on the extension. So as my arm and leg move away from my midline, I try to exhale. That's going to increase your intra-abdominal pressure. The whole time I'm checking in with my lower back, making sure I'm pulling my belly button up and in to my spine. Let's do one more on the other side. I lost count. Very good. All right. We're going to roll over to our side, gently push yourself up into a seated position, and then we'll start set 2. In that seated position, pushing up into crab. Remember, if you need to modify, find something to elevate you into your elevated hip bridge. So if not, let's get our hands set. Find your big toes on the floor, feet are flat, and we'll go ahead and push up into that crab position. So push and down. I'm really utilizing my hamstrings and my butt with this movement to kind of pull me upwards. 3, 4. I also try to think about pulling my chest up through my shoulders. It's number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. Nice shot, Malcolm. Those look good. All right, we're gonna go right back into those face down lat pull downs plus push up if we can. We're doing 10 of those as well. So grab your paper plates or your towels. And when you're all set, you can go ahead and begin. So face down, try to pull and push into that floor as hard as you can. All right, that was 10 for me. Finish up your 10 and then roll onto your back for your dead bug. We're doing 12 dead bugs. Okay, let's get those legs in position. Get your lower back on the floor. Look down your legs so your chin stays relatively tucked, which would extend to lengthen out the back of your neck. Arms are up to the ceiling and begin. Nice and slow and controlled. This is number 10 for me. I've got 2 to go. Very good. Roll to your side, push up carefully. We're gonna start our 3rd set. So we're right back into that seated position, pushing into crab. All right. When we're ready, we're gonna go ahead for 10 and go ahead and begin. And we go up and down, up and down. Remember, pay attention to your knees. If you feel like your knees are going too far forward, then reach your feet forward a little bit more. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, and 10. Very good. All right, let's find those paper plates or the towels. We're going right down into our third set of our little makeshift lat pull down plus push up. And we're going for 10. Whenever you're ready, let's begin. I'm halfway. Whew, very good. We are done with those paper plates. All right, let's get on our backs. We've got our last set of dead bugs. Okay, check your positions. Always go through your little checklist. Knees are over your hips, lower back is on the floor, chin is tucked. Arms are extended up out of the armpits. And begin. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. Pay attention to your spine the entire time and your core. Very good. That was 12. Okay, grab a drink if you need it once you've finished up. So the next portion is going to be 4 different movements. We're going to do 4 sets. However, we're going to be working consistently 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. So it's not a lot of rest, it's just enough rest for us to transition into the next movement. So let me go through the movements really quick for you so that we can just go ahead and start together with that 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. So the first movement, we're gonna need a towel or a light blanket. We're gonna be doing a horizontal row. So I'm gonna hook the towel around my foot. I'm gonna grab the towel up a couple inches. So I have the towel's nice and cinched tightly. So when I sit up nice and tall, from this position, I can then generate a lot of tension in this rowing or horizontal pulling movement. So one arm pulls as the other arm extends. So we'll be doing that for 40 seconds. The second movement is going to be a crab position into a bear position. So we're going to be rotating. So with this one, I am going to allow my hands to rotate. So I will come up into my bear, and then I will rotate into bear. Sorry, I said bear when I meant crab. So I come up into crab, and then I rotate into bear. And I would make sure that I go into both directions, right? So I would rotate both sides. The third movement is an inchworm plus a single arm downward dog. So what that's gonna look like is I'm gonna softly bend my knees, bend over, touch the floor, walk out into my inchworm position or my push-up position, and then I push myself up into downward dog, reach to my shin, come back to that push-up position, push myself into downward dog as I reach to the opposite shin. The fourth and final movement is going to be a plank on our elbows, and then we're gonna rotate onto a plank on your side. So we'll start here, and then we slowly rotate over. I'm gonna lift this top leg. If you need to keep the top leg in front of the bottom leg, that's totally fine. If you need to come to the knee, that's also fine. And then we'd rotate back to center, and then rotate to the other side. Okay? So, if everybody's ready, let's start in that seated position with your towel. Remember, it's 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. We're gonna do 4 sets. I'm gonna start the timer in 3, 2, 1, begin. So create a lot of tension with that towel. We're not leaning forward at all. So Susan, keep your upper body a little stiffer, and I would go a little slower. And then Louisa, with those bands, just play around with your hand position. So where your wrist is. So either face down like that, or neutral, or even face up, whatever feels better for your shoulder. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. We're going into crab to bear. So we've got about 20 seconds, 15 seconds now. And 3, 2, 1, go ahead, crab, into bear, back to crab, nice and slow. Pay attention to how your shoulders are rotating. We always want to be pushing away from the floor to create a lot of space in that joint capsule of your shoulders. And go ahead and relax. We've got 20 seconds. Everybody can stand up. We'll get into that inchworm position. All right, in 3, 2, 1, begin. Bend your knees, reach to the floor, walk those hands out, push up into downward dog, come back to the push-up position, push up to downward dog on the other side, push yourself all the way back up to standing, and repeat the movement. You can always do this backwards, meaning we're not walking with our hands, we're walking with our feet. So it could be like this, feet come up, stand, hands come down, feet walk away. We push up into downward dog and up into downward dog. That's good. All right, go ahead and relax. Get ready for our planks. We've got about 10 seconds. I cut you guys a little short there, sorry. All right, so here we go on our plank with rotation. So I'm gonna be in my plank position, and then I'm gonna rotate to my side plank position, and then I rotate back to center, and rotate the other direction. Nice and controlled the whole time. We've got 10 seconds. And relax. Very good. All right, grab your towel. Moving into set 2. I would hook the towel on the opposite foot that you just used. In 3, 2, 1, begin. Susan, slow down. We've got 15 seconds. Nice good pull under that armpit into that mid back. Keep your foot on the floor, the foot that has the towel on it, and relax. Very good. Getting ready for that crab to bear. Louisa, if this is too hard on your shoulder, you can go into a lunge, like a hovered lunge, and just kind of hover into that lunge position. All right, let's find our crab position and begin. Rotate into bear, rotate back to crab, and rotate to the other side. Back to crab, and rotate to bear. Keep moving. We've got about 20 seconds to go. Got 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. Everybody stand up for your inchworm to downward dog. All right, we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk out into your inchworm. Push up into downward dog, back to your plank position, push up into downward dog, push yourself all the way back up to standing, and repeat. Walk yourself out into inchworm, push into downward dog, back to your plank, push to downward dog on the other side, and push yourself up. We've got about 10 more seconds. And very good. Come on down into plank. We've got about 10 seconds. So we're going plank into side plank with that rotation. In 3, 2, 1, begin. Side plank, back to center, rotate to the other side, back to center, keep moving. We've got about 10 seconds. And very good, relax. We're moving right into that seated horizontal row again. So grab your towel. In 3, 2, 1, begin. Row, nice and slow, nice big pulls. Yes, the bicep is going to get engaged. Pull that shoulder blade back. Feel how it connects to the spine at that back position. I'm keeping my palms facing each other, so I'm in a neutral grip position. I've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. We're moving on into crab to bear. In 3, 2, 1, up to crab. I'll rotate into bear. Push away from the floor as you rotate back to crab and back to bear. Good, we've got about 20 seconds, halfway to go. 1, relax. Stand up into your inchworm. All right, we've got about 5 seconds and then we'll start your inchworm to downward dog. 3, 2, 1, begin. Bend your knees, softly walk out, push up into down dog, back to center, and down dog. Walk yourself back up, walk yourself back out. When I push up into down dog, I do try to get my heels towards the floor to get a little calf stretch. Gets that whole posterior chain nice and elongated. And rest. Good. We've got 20 seconds and then we're going into our third set of the plank with rotation. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, plank. Rotate to side plank, back down, and rotate. Keep moving nice and slowly, nice and controlled. You're aware of where your spine is at all times. That hip stays elevated. Nice and tall with that hip. Keep moving. We've got about 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, we've got one more round. Grab your towel. And we'll go right into that last set, starting with that horizontal row. I've hooked the towel onto my opposite foot, and here we go in 3, 2, 1. So row, row, nice strong pulls. Try to keep your foot in alignment so the foot's not rotating funny. Your big toe is pointing up. You could try to spread those toes a little bit. Get a little intrinsic foot mechanics going. Keep pulling nice and stiff with your upper back. You can rotate, but I'm not leaning forward. And we got 3, 2, 1, finished. All right, moving into our last set of the crab to bear. We've got about 10 seconds. All right, and 3, 2, 1, come on up and rotate over, rotate back to crab and back to bear, back to crab, push as you rotate, stomach is engaged. I'm not as concerned of where my hips are in the crab with this one. But in the bear position, I want a nice flat back. We've got 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Very good. Okay, we've got our last set of the plank with the rotating into side plank. Whew. Oh, you guys are back. You were frozen that whole time. All right, 3, 2, 1. Find your plank position and begin. Plank. Rotate to your side. Plank. Rotate to the other side. Plank. And rotate. Keep moving. Got 3, 2, 1. Very good. On that last one, I missed our inchworm, so we've got one more movement to do. Okay, here we go with your inchworms. I got a little mixed up. In 3, 2, 1, last set of your inchworms. Walk it out. Push up into down dog. Very good. Walk it back out into inchworm. Push into down dog. Nice strong push with that serratus anterior, which is the muscle that kind of connects your lats to your ribs. Got 3, 2, 1, and rest. Whew, very good. Okay. We'll do a couple little stretches to finish off and then we'll be done. Grab a drink of water if you need it. We're gonna sit in just a regular cross-legged position. We're gonna try to go into a little bit of a upper back stretch. So I'm going to bring my right arm in front of me like this. I'm going to then bring my left arm under my right arm and around towards my hand. So we're kind of crisscrossed with your arms. From this position, I'm going to pull my elbows down and I'm going to flex forward. So I'm from this position, elbows come down and I'm going to round that spine. And now I'm going to reach my elbows away from me. Should feel that underneath the shoulders in your upper back. Pull your chin in a little bit. And relax out of it. And we'll do the other side. Left arm will come forward into this position. I'm going to reach my right arm under my left arm. Try to hook those elbows. I'm going to try to bring that right hand towards the palm of my left hand. So from this position, I'm going to bring my elbows down. I'm going to flex my spine a little bit, and then I'm going to reach my elbows away from me. I'm going to pull my chin in. Don't be too aggressive with this stretch. It's kind of difficult. Just nice, easy stretch behind those shoulder blades. And slowly come out of that, up and over your head. We're gonna do a couple shoulder rolls and then we'll be done. So we're gonna just roll up and back. If you need to stretch your neck, go ahead. Up and back. Make sure you come wide into that chest when you're in your back position. Up, back, wide with that chest. One more time. Up and back, and then reverse direction. So I'm going to go up and forward, and then I come back, right? Up and forward, trying to complete that whole circular motion. Up and forward. Let's do one more. Back, up, forward, and down. All right, very good, everybody.